Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 10 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at who will kill Alpha. So, it may not seem like it, but there's actually several people at this point who can kill Alpha. So the big question is, will Carol get a chance to kill Alpha? Or will they go against what they've kind of been pushing towards or building towards and have someone other than Carol kill Alpha? So we're going to go through all the characters who could get the opportunity to kill Alpha or get the privilege of killing Alpha, and we're going to go through the positives and the negatives of it, both from a current story perspective and also from a long-term story perspective. So there are actually 5 characters who could get the opportunity to kill Alpha, and for it to be not only justified, but for them to have deserved that kill, if that makes any sense. So the first character is none other than Carol herself. They have really built up Carol to get this kill, but the more we move towards the episode where she's gonna die, Alpha, the more I start to think that that's probably not where they're going with it. And even though it would be very justified because Carol would be getting revenge for Henry's death, it's something that is most expected. So if they want to kind of throw us a curveball, what they could do is make it seem like Carol is going to get it, but they can give it to someone else to kind of surprise everyone. I think there's still a 50% chance that Carol could get that kill. And if Carol does in fact kill Alpha, then it would be a great story because it's Carol getting revenge for Henry's death. And it's justified, and I think most fans would feel okay with that story. Even though it's expected, I think most fans will be okay with it because there's just so much weight to it and there's so much emotion and pain that makes this more impactful. And I think most fans would look the other way in terms of it being expected because it's something that has a lot of emotion and pain behind it, like I said. So that's one thing. Now, Carol has tried multiple times to kill Alpha, but every time she's put everyone else at risk of dying. And she's basically made it dangerous for everyone to be around her at the moment. So because of that, that does take away a little bit from that kind of impact. But Carol is still at the top of my list in terms of characters who could be the one that kills Alpha. Obviously, in the comics, it doesn't happen that way. For non-comic readers, Carol doesn't exist at this point in the story. So she has nothing to do with Alpha's death. And she's not even connected to the Whisperer's story arc. She died way before that. And also, the other thing that we have to keep in mind is that in the TV show, Alpha killing Henry was personal. Alpha killed Henry specifically because of Henry and Lydia's relationship. So what Alpha wanted to do is hurt Carol by killing Henry and maybe even hurt Lydia as well. But in the comics, none of Alpha's border kills were this personal. So that also makes things extremely interesting and different from the comics. Now the next person who could possibly be the one that kills Alpha is Daryl. Now, for Daryl, we do know that Daryl has this kind of rivalry with Beta. They've built that up from season 9. So if anything, Daryl might be the one that kills Beta, and he might be connected to a storyline that ends up getting Beta killed rather than Alpha. Now we do know Alpha and Daryl are going to have a battle or a fight as early as the mid-season premiere, but I don't think that it's going to end up with getting Alpha killed. I think that what Daryl's role is in this Whisper War is to kill Beta as Alpha's second in command. Now, if they follow the same strategy or the same theme that they had before, which is that the top character has to kill the top leader of the villainous group, then Daryl is definitely one of the candidates for the person that might end up getting Alpha killed because he's one of the top characters in the show right now. Well, with that said, I think having Carol kill Alpha is more impactful and it's more justified than having Daryl kill her. I think it's more justified to have Daryl be involved in Beta's death, like I said. The next character is Lydia. Now, if Lydia is the one that kills Alpha, that might actually be extremely interesting. That would be very emotional, raw, and I think it would be surprising. Now, with that said, the type of character Lydia is in the TV show, I don't think she'll go through with something like that. I think if anything, she might help Carol kill Alpha, but she won't be the one responsible for killing Alpha, but it is a possibility. And if she does in fact kill Alpha, then it would be a great way to move her story forward and to push her story towards becoming a more badass and more interesting and multidimensional character. But with that said, I still think Carol is most justified for being the one that kills Alpha. But if it is in fact Lydia, then I think that it could also work depending on how they do it and what they end up doing with that for the future of the show. The next character is Negan. Now, I'm not even going to get into the comic material for non-comic readers, so I don't spoil too much for you, but let's just say that Negan had a good role in what led to Alpha's downfall. Let's just say that. So if they end up following the comic storyline, then obviously Negan is going to be an important factor in Alpha's death and her downfall. Now, with that said, there is a chance that they might not have Negan have anything to do with this, and they might throw us a curveball and have Negan actually help Alpha and the Whispers. I think that's unlikely, and I still think that Negan has a secret mission, and I think he wants to destroy the Whispers from the inside, but who knows, maybe they'll do something completely different. But at this time, I think Negan and Carol are most likely to kill Alpha, and I'm putting my money on one of them being the one that ends up killing Alpha. Last but not least, Beta. Now for Beta, it does feel a little out of the blue and a little kind of shocking and surprising and something that they didn't really build up or anything. Throw everything out the window in terms of what the audience is expecting. What we could have is Beta killing Alpha because he wants to take over. I think that's extremely unlikely, but there is a chance for that to happen. And there is a slight reasoning behind that if they end up going that route. I would personally be disappointed if they end up doing that, but it is a possibility. To sum it all up, I think Carol, Negan, and Daryl are the ones that are most likely to be the one that kill Alpha. And I'm putting my money on either Carol or Negan. But I want to know everyone's thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to kill Alpha, and do you think it'll be Carol? That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.